This is the temperature. Temperature in degrees Celsius. And this one is the important gases. Gases. So this is 0 to 10.16 kilometer. I'm now 10.16 kilometer to 50 kilometer. Mesosphere, that is 50 to 85. 85 to 500. And above 500. This is the. What is the temperature during that? So this is troposphere, that should be varies from a 15 degrees Celsius to minus 56 degrees Celsius. This one is minus 56 to minus 2. This is minus 2 to minus 92. Minus 92 to 1200 and above 1200. Above 1200. What are the gases is there? So these are the gases. Basically, there is all the gases that is present: nitrogen, oxygens, S2O, CO2. In this one, troposphere, there is several gases. But in the stratosphere here, O3, ozone, and some of the oxygen is present. Atomic molecule of oxygen. In mesosphere, the gases that is present in ionic forms. Charge. In heterosphere, all these gases that is present in a ionic atomic molecule of oxygen, NO. These are the NO plus. Hydrogen and helium. So these are the gases present in the different layers. Now how it should be, temperature is varies from this one. So this is temperature in degrees Celsius. Suppose this one is the 0. So at the, this is the 0 temperature. So it starts from a 15. So that it means just this should be starts minus 56. Then after that should becomes. Then after minus 92 and so on. So this is the temperature. This is the 10 kilometer. This one is 50 kilometer. This one is 85. And then after 100, 800 and so on. That is. This is troposphere. From here to here, this one is the stratosphere. Stratosphere. This is the mesosphere. And thermosphere, and then after heterosphere. So here the temperature is decreased, that's why that is a negative. When the temperature is increased, that's why that is a positive line. So temperature is varies from when the increases the altitude from sea levels. This is it. Up now in the troposphere, the atmosphere layer lies close to the Earth's surface, and it is the lower layer of atmosphere in which there are several gases, there are several organisms is there. So life that is present in troposphere. Tropo means chains are turning. So this should be action of it. Keep the troposphere in constant motion. That's why this one is the turning. So that is the there is the wind. So that should be blows in this way. Another is it is the characterized by a steady decrease in temperature because 15 to minus 56. In the troposphere, the temperature of air decreases at an average rate of 1 degree Celsius for 166 meter. Each 166 meter on so that it means the temperature that should be decreased 1 degree Celsius. The troposphere, this is the basal part of the atmosphere in the most important zone for living things. What are these? So there is the presence of a several gases is there. So these gases, some of the major gases is there. Major gas, minor gas, and trace gases. So these are the three. That is, the major gases is nitrogen and oxygen. These are the two. So nitrogen, that is 78.08% by value, and oxygen, that is 20.95%. This is two minor components. These are the argons and CO2. These are the, so argon, that is 0.934%, and CO2, that is the 0.036%. This is the addition of argon. 4 more noble gases that is present in the minor. These are the neon, krypton, krypton. Another is the helium, xenon. So these are the another gases that is present in the minor. And now some of the trace gases is there. So that is the methane, NOx, nitrogen dioxides, sulfur dioxides, chlorofluorocarbons, methyl chloroform. So these are the trace gases is there. So these are the presents in this one. And air temperature in this sphere gradually decreases with height at the rate of about 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer. That is the upper level of troposphere. The temperature may decreases up to minus 60. This is the upper layer. Which one is? That is. So it makes temperature inversion. Troposphere is turbulent, dusty zone containing much water vapors and clouds, and thus the reason of a strong air movements and cloud for motions. This is. Now how it should be? This is the temperature variation, but if you see the pressure variations, so pressure, that should be different altitude and pressure, so that is continuously decrease at the sea level. This is, and the temperature inversion, this is like this one. So this section, that is just like this one, temperature inversion. Now another thing, there is the presence of a greenhouse gases. CO2, they have absorbed the energy, radiant energy, and converted into excited molecule. And after that excited molecule, they may again release the energies. So that is That should be balance the temperature so that by the greenhouse effects. The lower level of troposphere, the main gases are present: sulfur dioxide, SO2, S2S, CO, nitrogen, NO, NO2, NS3. So these are the CO2 and nitrogen are highly reactive. S2S, NS3 and methane are production of anaerobic biological activities. This is the, so this is the only for a biological. What are these one is there? Suppose sulfur dioxide, so that should be sink in the atmosphere. Methane, CH4. That is, this one is the natural gases, CH4 plus twice CO2 as twice O2. So there is the formation of a CO2 and twice S2. This is the. So atmospheric oxygen used by aerobic organisms. This one is the consumption. Some of the suppose HCHO plus oxygens. Organisms, so they are uses converting into S2. This is the metal, suppose FeO. So these oxygens, that is, the production of a oxygen is only for a one way and consumption is the very ways is there. Fa2O3. So these are in the atmospheric pollutants are present in the troposphere. This is at a lower stratosphere. So major burdens of air pollution is carried by troposphere, the sphere. There is the formation of a hydroxyl radicals in the atmosphere, in the troposphere. What are these reactions? So in the presence of ozone, that is O3, in the lower level, then they have absorbed that energy. They are converting into an atomic molecule of oxygen and oxygens. Plus S2O, so they are producing hydroxyl radicals in this atmosphere. Production reaction of hydroxyl radicals with nitric oxide, when that is produced. So there is a formation of a this one hydroperoxyl radicals NO. So then there is the formation of a hydroxyl radicals plus NO2. So in this one, so there is the several ways is there that should be produced in this one. Another is the NO2. So they are combined with the gases. So these are the reactions that is present in the troposphere. Now another thing, that is the stratosphere. Again, there is the one some contents is there. Just in the troposphere, the average temperature is 15 degrees Celsius at the sea level, and that should be falling minus 56 or minus 57 degrees Celsius at the bottom of the troposphere from 11 kilometers. This is the one of them. So how you can measure the just pressure? So at the sea level, everybody know according to barometric formula, that is P is equal to P0E H upon H, where P0, this is the pressure at the sea level. Sea level. H is the constant approximately. This is the constant. And that should be approximately, that is equal to 8 kilometer. Approximately 8 kilometer. M is the average molar mass of air. Mass of air. T is the temperature. T is the temperature. So in the troposphere, that composition is maintained moderately constant by diffusion and convection. That is the wind particularly. This is the and local turbulence called eddies. This is the and pressure that should be varies here from 0. This is the pressure. So that should be varies constantly. This is the so this is the half of this one. Average pressure. This is the altitude. So local variation of pressure, temperature, and composition in the troposphere are Memphis. That is a weather. A small region of air is termed as partial. The partial of warm air is less dense than the some partial of cool air. So this one is the partial rise. It expands adiabatically. That is without transfer of heat from its surrounding. So it cools. The cool air absorbs lower concentration of water vapor than the warm air. So the moisture forms a cloud. So this is. And now we comes to the stratosphere. So in the stratosphere, that is lies above from troposphere and the here this one. In that area, that is called a tropopause, where the above portion of the troposphere and lower portion of the stratosphere, where that this one is the mixing of this one. So that is called a tropopause. And the stratosphere, that temperature is -56 to -2. This is the temperature increases in this one, so that's why that is a plus lapse is there. So in this layer, this is the lower temperature. In this, there is the no cloud, dust, or water vapor. So there is the no pollutant in that areas, because in the troposphere, when the upper layer is highly lower temperature, so that's why the pollutants they cannot transfer into the stratosphere. But the main that is the main thing in stratosphere, they have absorbed that energy, radiant energy from the sun, and that's why the temperature that should be rises. The ozone layer, that is the Ozonosphere, is also this one is due to the presence of a ozone layer. So that's why that is called a Ozonosphere within this sphere. The ozone is formed by oxygens by a photochemical reaction. Oxygens plus H. So there is the formation of the two atomic oxygens. Oxygens, but this one. So there is the formation of O3. So this is the stratosphere becomes warmer with increasing distance from the Earth. Is that the Earth is that the ultraviolet radiation absorbed by the ozone, and that is transferred into a heat. There is the several reactions involved in the stratosphere. Basically, these are the ozone depletion formation. Another is when the ozone is formed, so there is the depletion, a decomposition of ozones. So that should be continuously works in that stratosphere. If there is the presence of some another catalytic, these are the suppose NO2 or chlorofluorocarbons, when that is, so this is causing for a depletion of the ozone layers. So that should be discussed in another topics. So here this is the mesosphere is what? So in the mesosphere, this is the next to stratosphere is a mesosphere, and that is characterized by the cold temperature and very low atmospheric pressure. So mesosphere extends roughly to 80 kilometer and its temperature is minus 95 degrees Celsius. What are the chemical important chemical species is there? So these are the mesosphere basically. NO plus nitrogen. This one is comes in ionic NO plus and 2 plus oxygens 2 NO plus electrons, then nitrogen and oxygens. So this is so most of the oxygen that is undergoes a photolytic dissociation generation. So that oxygens they have absorbed that energy atomic molecule of oxygens. अब another is the ionosphere or thermosphere. So basically importance in this sphere, there is the presence of a most of the gases that is present in the ions, and that this one is the above from a mesosphere. So main that is due to the presence of a ionic particles, so radio waves that should be reflected back to the earth surface, and that is enabled to wireless communication. After that, there is the presence of a exosphere. The upper part of the exosphere is there, that is from above from 1200 kilometer or 600 kilometer. Uh, this one is the above exosphere. This is the above from a 1200 kilometer, and most of the gases that are present in hydrogen and helium. So this is the composition. Basically, these are the composition of a atmosphere. That is. Now another thing becomes here to so what is air pollution? The air pollution is generally this is the disequilibrium of air, and due to this disequilibrium that is caused why this one is it? So that is for introduction of a foreign element.
Sir, your
So your
mic is
mic is turned on, off, sir. So your mic is turned off.
Yeah, yeah. The natural sources, and second is the man-made. I think this one is the all of you know this one. The man-made sources, what are these one? The natural sources, what are these? So this is the mainly that is the forest fires. Another is the volcanic eruptions or vegetable decays. Another is the sand and dust causing for this one. So these are the natural sources. Man-made sources is because we should not control the natural sources. So that's why we only control the man-made sources, which we have control to this one. So that's why that should be our environment that is safe from the living organisms. So there is the one is the what are the man-made? So there is the deforestation. Second, increasing of population. Third is emission from vehicles. Rapid industrialization. Agriculture activities. Six is wars. These are the activities due to this our environment that should be much more polluted in this one. So that is necessary ki how we can control to this one because there is the major pollutions. These are the primary pollutant and another is the secondary pollutant. All of you know this one. Basically, these are the oxides of the gases. Suppose nitrogen, carbon, CO, CO2, NO, NO2, SO, SO2. These are the major gases is the oxide. Another is the particulate matter. Third is the hydrocarbons, unburnt hydrocarbon that is causing for this one. So these are the deforestation. All of you aware of this one. Increasing population when population is increases, so their peoples they requires several things for luxurious lives. So that's why the industrialization that is increasing in this one. These things, vehicles that is increases rapidly. Agriculture because the humans are living organisms, they require a food, much more food. So if the population is increased, so will require a much more food is there. So that's why agriculture activities that should be increasing in this. So in the agriculture, so, for production, the crop production that should be increases. So they are using it so many fertilizers, pesticides. These are the things. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Due to this some poor network, so that's why there is a disconnect in this. Yeah. So one thing all of you understand what is the atmosphere. Basically, these things all of you aware of these things. That is, what are the temperature inversion or what is the pressure inversion is there. In that atmosphere, there is the mass and energy that should be transferred in a state. Here we should not discuss here because in the surface there is the only for a atmosphere and temperature inversion. And then after what are the effects is there? What is the types of the pollutants? So all of you know this one. This is this primary and secondary pollutants. These are the. And after that, what are the effects? So these are the effects that is due to the presence of a these gases. So that's why there is the problem that should be occurs in our environment. So that is the ozone depletion, greenhouse effect, acid rain, photochemical smog. These are the. So in how it should be happens in our environment and what are the effects is there, what are the chemical reactions in that atmosphere. So we have discussed these things in the next classes in each topic one by one. Okay.
Yes, sir.
बाकी अच्छा आप लोगों को कुछ समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं एक चीज हमको ये बताइए
Yes, sir.
हाँ? क्योंकि जनरली ये चीजें आप जान भी रहे हो ऐसा कुछ एनवायरनमेंट में ऐसा कुछ अभी तक तो ऐसा नहीं है जो कि आप न जान रहे हैं इसके आगे के रिएक्शंस जो है थोड़े से हैं क्योंकि एटमॉस्फेरिक रिएक्शंस बहुत ज्यादा है photochemical reactions photooxidations these are the so when in the atmosphere the one of the particles or one of the radicals that should be formed so then after there should be chain reaction that should be start so when the chain reaction is start so by the nature they have control to this one this is the natural phenomena they have control these particles but a certain level but suppose the concentration that should be increases in much more and more so that's why these are the effects and when they control to this one so basically they have washed out to this one so there is the presence of a due to the macrobiological activities decrease of the outside this one the carbohydrates and another so when decays this one so they have liberated the methane and ammonia ammonia is a base for atmosphere all these gases they have react with the ammonia and then after converted into a ammonium nitrate suppose ammonium sulfate these are the ammonium carbonic acid when the formation of this one so these are suppose CO2 CO or NO2 or SO2 that should be increases in the atmosphere so basically this is the base one base is there ammonia they have react and that is termination point. And another is the termination point of these radicals is that we have discussed in a next classes, not today. Okay, just I am taking the attendance and after that we'll leave the class of this one. ठीक है, तो today we leave this class and in next class we start the what are the effects and how we can control these pollutants in the atmosphere. तो इसके बारे में डिस्कस इस क्लास में करेंगे. ठीक है.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.